Hello. How are you this morning? Good. Good, thank you. I'm so excited to be here again today. And it looks like we've been already having a lot of fun already. That was awesome. Greg, Superman he is. And right now you're actually going to be meeting shortly some other members of our scientific advisory board. And before then though, I want to talk to you a little bit about some exciting news about what's going on with our new packaging for liquid BioCell. How many of you have already seen it in the store downstairs? Do you like the taste of them? You know, this was a big undertaking. So the first thing I have to do is tell you a little bit about the history, about how this all kind of evolved and where it came from and why we even had to do it, why we wanted to do it, and what it means for all of you, and what it means for your business going forward as well, and some future plans as well. I think you'll be really excited. So the first thing you'll see on the screen here is kind of like the evolution of our packaging with the liquid BioCell products. So as you know, prior to the acquisition, our company had actually started back in 2009, and we came out with the first product only. We only had a single product, that liquid BioCell Life. And back then, it was very humble beginnings. We had just a bottle that we could get at that time, a stock bottle. We eventually had to come out with the PET product because, as you'll hear about more and more, as you engage with people who've been within the company for a long time, the history here is that people liked it so much that they were giving their human product to their pets. Because of course, their animals mean the world to them, and dogs and cats have very similar joint health issues as humans do. And so we naturally came out with a PET product to make sure it was safe and that it didn't have any fruit extract in it, because that's not good for dogs and cats, obviously. And then similarly, the equine products came out for those who had a special place in their hearts for their, horses. And again, horses are the only other species besides dogs and cats that have very similar cartilage and joint health issues as well related to that cartilage as humans do. And then we evolved into single serving packets because our product has to be refrigerated, as you know. And it always helped to have something on the go. We had our chews developed here too. That image isn't on here. And then of course we came out with our new bottles as well. So back in 2012 or so, we redesigned our bottle and came out with a number of product extensions, the sport, the skin, the pure product, as you all know. And then I'm going to go into what you see kind of in the highlight there in just a moment. But as you know, some of the evolution of what our research was based on actually led to our development of trim, and we launched that earlier this year. And that's been a great success. I have special news about that product as well toward the end of my discussion.
Special news about that product.
And so let me talk a little bit about this other image here that's now highlighted and in color. You see that little dropper with the liquid BioCell?
Yes.
Back in 2007, okay, so even prior to the forming of our company, we actually had finally been able to get a liquid version of our active ingredients developed. And that was what was granted to us at Modera with exclusive rights to liquid version of that BioCell ingredient. No one else in the world has that. That's a global exclusivity, and no one can buy that unless they're coming to you for it. So not only is it patented, but you have exclusive rights to it. And that's so important for a viable, sustainable business, as you know. And over time, we tried to get this, unfortunately, the natural ingredient in its natural state doesn't taste very good. And it actually has a very pungent odor to it too. So you wouldn't be able to take as much as you needed down to a form where people would actually ingest it. That defeats the purpose. The reason why we have a liquid is not just because it's more bioavailable, but also because dosage compliance often has to do with whether or not a product is appealing and someone actually wants to take it. So as you know, our products taste delicious and people take it, and so that by itself, in and of itself, actually helps our product to be more effective. Does that make sense? So over time, we actually finally were able to get it down to where we could concentrate it to the pure version, as you know, today. The pure version, as you know, you take 2 bottles of that instead of 4 bottles a month. And for a while, we were trying to concentrate liquid BioCell down to this concept. I thought it was a brilliant idea to take the product and make it so that it was so concentrated that you would just need droplets of it. Maybe you could add it to your water. Maybe you could add it to something else. Do whatever with it. Maybe take it directly, sublingually, if you wanted to. We worked on this for like 2 or 3 years, and it didn't go anywhere because it was awful. And if you don't believe me, there are probably members of our corporate team that are still here through the acquisition. They know what we went through, and it wasn't a pretty sight in our R&D room for a while. So we had other priorities, we moved on. But we were still doing the work in the background, and that was what allowed us to be able to concentrate it to 1 tablespoon, but remember that's only half of your daily dosage, for the trim product. So part of that next step, you actually saw evolve and launch when we launched trim earlier this year. So there was some success in being able to do that. Limited success, but still some success. Then along came what our next plan was going to be, which was to expand internationally. And the first country that we were going to go to was Japan. And as you know, it's so important to localize your product, your message, your marketing, to make sure that it's received really well in that country, or else, you know, what's the point, right? In Japan, the most, sort of authorities in packaging, they all came back with market research feedback that said that they wanted a lightweight and package, not those heavy bottles, but also they wanted plastic. They actually didn't, glass in Japan, for example, is like 2nd class. It's perceived as really cheap. So when they drink out of glass bottles, it's probably perceived as very different than it is in our country or other places as well. So that led to more and more research. And so finally, earlier this year, and lots of credit goes to our R&D team. Cam is here. You saw him downstairs in the experience room. Kudos to Cam and his team and the R&D team. Shout out to our amazing Moser product team as well. And everyone got to work to try to develop something for Japan. I'm really pleased to say that earlier this year, actually it wasn't that long ago, but it was in September, that we finally became ready to sell product in Japan. And this time though, we were going to do it with a super concentrated version of liquid BioCell. And because we were able to do this, it was very interesting, but now it was so much lighter. We got the taste, as you know, now I can say this with you knowing what I'm saying, not just my biased opinion here, but it tastes really good. Very close to the original formula, a little more concentrated as you would expect, but it's something digestible, and this time you had to take 1/4 of the amount. Can you imagine that? 1 tablespoon twice a day instead of 2 ounces twice a day. This is pretty incredible. So we got to concentrate this down, and so today what you see here is our launch of our new generation of liquid BioCell. And yes, that deserves a lot of applause. I think it's a great... some things to clarify. So these are going to be available for sale. Now we're only going to have these products. What's so nice about this is that the consistency is there amongst all the products. So you don't have to worry about remembering a different dose for the pure and the different dose for the skin, life, and sport. Now you're going to be able to take 1 tablespoon twice a day, no matter which product it is. Isn't that great and simple? And I really want you to understand this, because this is so very critical and important. The product has not at all been diluted in any sense. It's just as potent. If you could argue, it's actually more potent because it's got less water in it. So it's more potent than ever. It's the most advanced technology. And remember, I've been working on this since like the early 2000s. And so I know exactly the evolution of this. I remember when the largest beverage companies in the world came to us asking for a liquid version of this ingredient. And we said no, because we wanted to keep it for you. And that was a great decision. And now it's amazing to see how far we've come. But I want you to know this, even after the acquisition, there has been nothing done to our formulation, changes in ingredients, by any means whatsoever. Everyone understand that? That is the truth. No vendor changes, no suppliers, everything's being made exactly the same way. This, sometimes taste varies from batch to batch because of harvest and things like that, but the formulation has been untouched, even after the acquisition, and now also the potency is completely untouched. These benefits will be exactly the same, and that's what the truth behind our product is. And I want you to know that, because just in case people do get product at home and they think it's a different product, it's not. It's actually the same. It's stronger than ever, more advanced than ever, based on more science than ever, more bioavailable than ever. It's got absolutely no changes to the formulation whatsoever. I know I'm kind of harping on this and sounding like a broken record at this point, but it's really important because when your customers start to get their new packages, you want to make sure that they don't freak out and they think that this is a different product, okay? And we're going to do our part by making sure that they have inserts in every box for the next 3 or 4 months. And it'll explain to them that it's the same potency, same benefits. It's just, you have to take less now. If you want to take a little bit more, that's okay. But it's still exactly the same product, the same ingredients and everything else in there as well. So I am really, really proud, and I'm so happy to know that after hearing the feedback from yesterday's tasting in the store, that all of you have received it so well and love the taste, and that's the feedback that I've been getting. And also that you can see what a good quality package it is too, right? It doesn't feel different, it's still high quality, and the reason why is because we're actually using, this is my favorite part of this, by the way, and I may be, you know, I don't know where I am these days, but I think it's in Kansas City. But you know, we kind of live in a bubble in California. You know, we don't even have to, in the city of Anaheim, for example, there's no separating recyclables. You put it all in one bin. The city does it for you. They separate out the glass and the plastic and food items. That's amazing. I think that's the goal for the rest of the United States. I hope so. It'll make things a lot easier. And what I also didn't realize is that people were taking, you know, when you live in states where sometimes they don't even come to your home to pick up glass recyclables. People would always have to take their glass bottles to a recycling center to make any use out of it, to recycle. Glass is really recyclable. It's actually recyclable in perpetuity. So you can continue to melt it down and it goes right back into becoming glass. You can reuse it. It's a really efficient way to make any kind of container or packaging. Except when you're using more material and when it's heavier, because then it actually makes your carbon footprint a lot greater. So when we're using less bottles, remember it's not just less bottles, it's not just half the bottles now, but the bottles are also shorter, right? So they're smaller. And so there's even less use out of it too. So one is that this is going to be an incredible environmental contribution on your part. And that makes me really, really happy. So that's another thing. The other thing is safety. often people, there's a lot of myths around safety with plastic. Some of it's actually very valid and legitimate. But what we're using is actually a PET type of a plastic bottle. There are many, many, myths, or what do they call it, kind of, legends out there even about plastic, leaving it out in your car and the heat is going to cause you to die, all these things. And it's true in some cases, but with PET, it's a different story. Our PET is free of any BPA chemicals, okay? And then what happens is some of the cheaper sources, because they know that's trendy to be BPA free, they actually use a different chemical instead to line their plastic. Because remember, the carcinogens or any kind of toxic, harmful effects of plastic is not from the plastic itself, it's actually from the chemical lining. So if you're not using BPA, but if you instead replace it with BPF or BPS, then you're still harming yourself because you're just replacing it with another harmful chemical. Our plastic has none of that. No other alternate chemicals. It contains no dioxins. It contains no endocrine disruptors, no lead or cadmium. And not only that, but our team, by the way, I come from like a very, 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 on the regulatory side, very conservative type of approach, right? Not violating claims, making outstanding, remarks about your product, things like that. But when I got to Modere, I can tell you that this is the most aggressive company when it comes to any of the regulatory affairs. Our RA department is incredible. They have no tolerance for even substantiation. They actually go out and do the testing themselves. So we have tested our plastic as well to see if there's any leaching. We aren't going to just stand by the suppliers and take their word for it. Isn't that great? We're going to do our own testing. And we actually did our own testing. We found that there was no leaching, no toxic chemicals, even when you left the plastic bottle in heat. So you have that assurance. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to update any matters. We're going to continue to do stability testing going forward. That's just who this company is. So I can assure you, I was pleasantly surprised to find that kind of dedication to science and research and regulations as I do here at this company. So kudos to the entire executive team who supports all of you in that effort. Okay, so this is what our new generation of liquid BioCell looks like. And it is absolutely beautiful. You have all the different products here. Are you ready to hear what the next generation of trim looks like? Okay, so what if I were to tell you that today in the experience room, you're going to be able to taste the limited supply of some new flavors that we're examining to release. I think they're doing the wave back there. That was pretty cool. So yes, new flavors of trim. So let me show you the ones that you're going to taste downstairs. And we'd love your feedback. Maybe on the Wednesday Q&A session I usually do on Modere College of Sciences page, I'll do a poll to see anyone who was in attendance to see what your favorites were. Are you ready for the first one? We're actually using Ghirardelli chocolate powder. And remember how awful, sorry. Rewind that statement. But the aftertaste sometimes that you would get, you know? Yes. Okay, well guess what? That's not here. And it's so funny, but I think Justin said this, it made me laugh so hard, but this is so good, by the way. It's so good. And Justin, Sarah was saying he couldn't figure out why his body composition wasn't changing because he was pouring it on his ice cream every day. So maybe that's a product extension. It's like a CLA-based ice cream. I don't know. But that, okay, so that's one of them. Taste it downstairs. Let us know what you think. And next is another flavor. It's a peach mango flavor. And I'm telling you, these pictures, by the way, I actually personally chose these pictures because I was trying to find the perfect depiction, and I went through so many different pictures of what they tasted like to me, right? So the chocolate that you just saw there, it was the perfect depiction of what it tastes like. With the peach mango, you'll taste that too. That's another fruit type of profile for us to be able to, you know, provide for those people who do love like the fruit-based type of flavors, like the lemon. This taste, I think it's like biting into a mango. It's pretty powerful. And then lastly, we have another flavor too, downstairs. You guys, can Tony's Electric smile get any bigger? Ever? I didn't think so, but you should see him right now. You guys, this was all the effort of a number of people on our team. I love our team at Modere who has helped to put all of this together for you. And we all love you back, and we'll make sure that we continue to give you the most cutting edge products ever, 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 ever. This is one of my favorites. It's vanilla, but I didn't think it tasted just like plain vanilla. It actually tastes like graham cracker to me. It tastes like, have you ever had the Zone bars that taste like the flavor, that fudge graham flavor? Has anyone ever bought one of those? Oh my God, those things are so good. That's what this tastes like to me. You take it and you be the judge. So have fun trying the different flavors that we have for you downstairs, and we'll continue to make this probably one of the most greatest success stories in our industry ever. Congratulations.
Why wouldn't my daughter want to be involved?
It's not available, so. Okay, now I have actually, you thought that was sweet. Well, I have the best treat for you now. It's actually for you to be able to meet our incredible science board. They're going to actually join me here to the College and Sciences Science Board in particular. For you to be able to get to know them, and for you to be able to hear from their perspective why they believe that BioCell products and trim are one of a kind and what they do with their products. So let me introduce each one of these amazing individuals, by the way. They all, I worship the ground that they walk on. Do you know how hard it is to do what they've done in their careers? The bios don't even do it justice, but you'll be impressed with this. The first doctor I'll bring onto the stage is Dr. Lisa Gerasimo. She is an MD and an MS in obesity medicine in private practice in Miami, Florida. She has concentrated her career on the study and treatment of obesity since 1989. She obtained a degree in psychobiology from UCLA, go Bruins, as well as a master's degree in human nutrition from Cornell. She participated in peer-reviewed research on obesity at both institutions. Dr. Gerasimo completed her education at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine in order to understand obesity from the clinical perspective. She served on the American Board of Bariatric Medicine as chair until the board became the American Board of Obesity Medicine. Dr. Gerasimo is currently a diplomat for the American Board of Obesity Medicine. She also serves on the Modera College of Sciences Scientific Advisory Board. Welcome, Dr. Lisa. Sorry. And next we have Dr. John Giannoni. He is a native New Yorker and veterinarian, graduate of University of Parma Veterinary School in Italy, and currently the owner and medical director of Newport Animal Hospital in Newport Coast, California. By the way, this is a very prominent shopping plaza in Newport Beach. In fact, I didn't even know that I was passing by his pet hospital, his vet clinic, all the time, until he actually joined our business for quite some time. It was pretty impressive to see. And then also, he's a classical pianist and composer. He's also a forensic expert witness for the protection of abused animals in Orange County. He has 5 amazing kids. He loves the outdoors, especially boating. He loves people and their pets and believes in a healthy lifestyle of eating right, working out, and making people laugh. Welcome, Dr. John Giannoni. And next, we actually have Dr. John Grazer. He is an MD, MPH, FACS. He is a second-generation board-certified Newport Beach plastic surgeon and the 4th-generation California physician. He specializes in aesthetic body contouring and reconstructive surgery. In addition to being a highly skilled surgeon, Dr. Grazer is an expert in skin health. This expertise comes from his quest to provide his patients with optimal aesthetic results. His patients include models and international celebrities who demand the best under the scrutinizing public eye. Dr. Grazer has a multitude of loyal and satisfied patients who rely on his skills to provide a natural look. Dr. Grazer maintains a special interest in body contouring. His father, Dr. Frederick M. Grazer, set the stage for plastic surgery by popularizing the tummy tuck and providing much of the modern literature on the subject, in addition to introducing liposuction, of all things, to the United States in 1982. His scientific interest while attending Tulane University in New Orleans, where he received his Master's of Public Health degree as well as a Master's of Science in Anatomy. He's worked for his public health degree. He had the opportunity to be published a first-name paper with Dr. Louis Ignarro, a Nobel Prize winner in medicine. After graduating, he actually attended Louisiana State University School of Medicine in New Orleans. During medical school, he conducted research at the Johnson Space Center in Houston and was selected in the 2nd tier of astronaut candidates. Upon completion of medical school, Dr. Grazer did his general surgery training at Tulane University School of Medicine. His plastic surgery fellowship was at Penn State with microsurgery training at the University of Pittsburgh. Dr. Grazer is also the past president of the Orange County Plastic Surgery Society and an assistant clinical professor in the Department of Plastic Surgery at the University of California, Irvine. Also, a believer in giving back, Dr. Grazer enjoys traveling to medically underserved destinations to perform surgery on children who may not otherwise have access to treatment. We see him periodically, every month, every couple of months, go down to Mexico and perform free surgery for burn victims, for people who have tumors, for people who have children who have cleft lips, absolutely pro bono, because that's his way of giving back. Please help me to welcome Dr. Grazer to the stage. Budig. She is a trauma surgeon, double board certified in general surgery and surgical critical care. She proudly served as a general surgeon in the United States Air Force and was Chief of Surgical Services at the Altus Air Force Base in Oklahoma. Dr. Kathy worked at the Atlantic City Medical Center for more than 10 years and served both as chairman of the Department of Critical Care and as Chief of Trauma. She's also traveled with several medical missions to Guatemala and the Philippines. Dr. Kathy continues to practice at a trauma center outside of Philadelphia. She has widened her scope of practice to nutrition and wellness as well. She also, in her spare time, sometimes I'll be like on the phone with her or texting, she'll be, excuse me, I have to go amputate a leg. I'll be right back. So in her spare time, what she does is she enjoys spending time with her family, gardening, eventing her horses, a big equine advocate, and competing in triathlons, and just finished her first full Ironman last fall. Welcome, Dr. Kathy. Well, welcome to the College of Sciences Science Board. I think what we'd like to begin is just from your own perspectives, maybe just start with Dr. Kathy over here and tell us a little bit about yourself from your own perspective outside of your bio and what drew you to look at BioCell.
Well, thank you. About 6 years ago, I was noticing that the same people were coming into my ICU. They had all the same diseases, but they just had different names. And I realized I was on track to become one of them. And I knew I was an expert in sickness and in illness, and I decided to become an expert in wellness. And it's even different than preventative medicine. It's not trying to keep from becoming sick, but how can we harness our physiology and enjoy it? So I had always been a big fan of antioxidants. My mom always gave us vitamins and supplements, and I was very fortunate to have my sister-in-law introduce me to the product, and it was something that you could really feel made a difference. And from there, I started to read about it and realized that, this is